Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful day here. Thank goodness, right? I love beautiful days. I'm trying to make the most of it because I know that they're in short supply. And so when I enjoy the weather when I can, my life is better overall. So who am I? I'm Rita Hickman. I'm a body-mind expert, a shiatsu massage therapist, and I work with women to break out of or get strong enough or navigate or whatever they need to do, get to the point where they can make a rational decision and rational, effective moves in narcissistic and toxic relationships, whether it's healing from them or the whole gamut. That's my specialty with Asian medicine. So today, I want to give you a thing to relationships with. Looks okay. All right, I think we're on a good path. Good. So, and it was about, for in a relationship. And so I asked her, let's try this again. All right, let's try this again. I should get better Wi-Fi now. So, okay, who am I? Rita Hickman, body-mind expert, massage therapist, and I work with toxic relationships. And this is where I left off. So there are a lot of women that don't know what to look for in order to avoid narcissists, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, whatever it may be, or even spotting them in their own family. And we tend to go for the criteria when we're looking for new friends or new whatever. We tend to go for the criteria that the media and dating sites and other people, they want to know what we're looking for. And typically when people are looking for a friendship or a relationship, especially if it's a romantic relationship, they've got some specific things in mind, and their priorities are their priorities are more, oh, there we go. And this can be a problem because we're asking the wrong questions, find a narcissist or not. We're not asking the right questions. We're looking for things like, do they like us? Will they talk to me? Things along those lines. We're looking for trappings that have more to do with what we think is available than what is really available. And so I want to give you a good tip. When you're getting to know someone, when you're just met them, just starting to get into a relationship, friendship, otherwise, or when you're reevaluating, your family members, there's a key thing you're looking for, a key sort of question that you can ask. And it came up around the question of dinner. Who pays for dinner when someone goes out on a date? And we had this discussion, and there are different opinions. Do you want to split the check? Do you want the guy to pay for dinner? How do you want all of this to turn out? And I said, well, why don't you ask the question before the dinner starts so that it's all cleared up, so you don't have to spend the dinner worrying how it's, who's going to bill, how that's going to work out. And the things that came up were more about what we wanted, what a Prince Charming would look like. Prince Charming would pay the bill and insist on paying the bill. A Prince Charming would make sure that I felt well treated and I felt, precious, and, maybe dancing in the rain. That's what we tend to be looking for when we're looking for relationships. We're looking for sort of a storybook, either romance or storybook friendship. But in reality, you probably don't have a good experience in good relationships and what to look for. And so this is what you want to look for when you ask the question, when you're like, how do you want to handle dinner? Who wants to pay? And you want to look for an answer that is respectful of you, that wants to know what you're thinking, that's curious about your opinions. Not an answer that's like, what, I don't know, whatever you want. That's a red flag for you. When someone's giving everything up for somebody else, that's a red flag that they don't have any opinions, and they might be acting in order to play the part of a storybook relationship. they're doing all the things that they're supposed to do. But in reality, what you're looking for are people that want to have a dialogue. So when the question comes up is, how would you like to do dinner? An answer might be, what would you like to do? I'm thinking that maybe this time we split the check, or I'd really like to pay, or, how about I pay this time and you pay, if we go out again, how would you like that? It's someone who offers suggestions, someone who's interested in who you are, in what you're thinking, and who's curious about you. It has nothing to do with the storybook romance and people pretending to be something that they can't. Because a lot of times people can't keep up that act. If you've had relationships with a narcissist, you absolutely know that people can't keep up that act of being the nice person, of being the nice guy. We can't be a storybook. We can't be perfect. We can't be a metaphor or an icon. So instead, what you're really looking for is someone who is an equal exchange. Someone who is able to give as well as receive. Someone who wants to know what you're thinking. Someone who has ideas or thoughts about what you're thinking. Someone who has ideas and thoughts about what they're thinking and they're interested in your opinion. So you're not looking for someone to play a role in any kind of relationship. You're looking for someone to demonstrate to you that that they see you as a partner and an equal, not just lip service, but they don't make assumptions, especially in this day and age. I am married to a really nice guy. I totally lucked out. I met him when I was 20. I had so many issues and so many fears that, it scared 99% of the people away. And I ended up with a nice guy in my life. And in this day and age, with the Me Too movement, with all of the, bright shining lights on respecting women, nice guys are smart. They aren't living under a rock. They are aware of what's going on. And so they know that women are pissed off. And they know that women don't like how they've been treated. And they know that they need to up their game too. And they're the ones who are doing it. The nice guys are the ones that are hyper aware in this day and age of not wanting to offend, of wanting to be kind, of wanting to be confident and strong, but also thoughtful and sensitive. There's no reason that someone you're in a relationship with, whether it's a woman or a man, wants to play a role, wants to play a part. They want to be authentic. They want to see you as a person who has thoughts and ideas of their own, and they want to make sure that you feel nurtured as much as you're nurturing them. It's an equal partnership. It's an equal relationship. So when you're starting to look for friendships, when you're starting to reevaluate your family, for narcissists, when you're looking for romantic relationships, you're not looking for a character. You're not looking for someone to fit Daniel Craig in James Bond. What you're really looking for is someone who is a lot like you, who's curious and interested and compassionate and kind. Not someone who says all the right things at all the right time, but instead somebody who's humble enough to say, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not quite sure how to handle this. Someone who, when you say, this is what I'd like, they respect that. They ask deeper questions. They don't make assumptions about what you mean or what you're saying. They keep a little bit of that open mind. They have that emotional regulation. In friendships, and in all relationships, we tend to be drawn to vibrant, colorful, interesting people who are extremely confident. It makes us feel strong and alive and like someone is creative. Everybody loved my dad. He was super vibrant, and super helpful to people. But in reality, he could only play that role for so long. Until then, he came home and then he struggled with, his anxiety and depression and exhaustion and negative beliefs. He couldn't keep it up. So you're not looking for someone who fits an icon. You're looking for someone who has the ability to grow, who has the interest in growing. And I was asked about, what about someone who's on a personal growth path? And I said, well, a lot of people on a personal growth path, they're there because they've got issues. They've got issues they're trying to work out. And that's why they're on this personal growth path. But in reality, wouldn't it be nicer if you were in a relationship, friendship, otherwise, with someone who didn't have a lot of issues? With someone who was raised in a good family that was balanced and structured, who wore capes as a kid and ran around with the dog? Wouldn't you rather have somebody like that? Somebody who doesn't come to the table with all of their own drama. Because hopefully by now you've dealt with some of your own drama, your own emotions, your own issues. You have through your entire life. It's what's made you into a really nice person. So you're not looking for somebody to fix. You're not looking for somebody who is super exciting and says all the right things. You're looking for someone who isn't quite sure what to say, and they admit it to you. And they say, you know what, I'm not quite sure what to say in this situation. And you're like, okay, because it starts a dialogue. It starts a conversation. So I'm suggesting you might want to change what you're looking for. When you're out, looking for people to connect with, I would suggest that you shift your paradigm. Not from one who seems like they're under a shining star, but instead someone who's probably hanging out in the woods going for a walk. Somebody who is spending a little bit of that quiet time, has some humility, asks some questions, is confident in themselves, and maybe grew up in a good family, in a family that didn't screw with their head. You don't have to stay in that level of the ocean where people are all messed up. You can go to the level, you can interact with the people that, you can let the people into your life that have demonstrated that, they're okay, they're normal. They're not super duper exciting, they're not over the top, but they're fun. And you will feel loved and cared about and nourished and nurtured. That's what you're looking for, okay? So change your paradigm a little bit. Here's your assignment for the day. I want you to look at the relationships you have in your life. And I want you to start using this litmus test. How do they interact with you? Do they interact in a, this is what you need to do, and this is where you need to go, and this is what I want? Or do they interact with, I don't know, whatever you want, I'm not sure, I'm questioning myself? Both of those are kind of too far on the side of the spectrum. You want to look for people who are like, you know what, let's talk about this. Let's find something that works for both of us. Someone who's looking at a bigger picture, not just at themselves, which is what the narcissist does. They look at themselves, their reaction, their experiences, and that's the only benchmark because they're too insecure to find out a bigger picture, or to have a dialogue, or be told that they're wrong, or to screw it up. So you want somebody who's comfortable enough with themselves to screw it up, okay? So that's your assignment for the day. Look at the people in your life with a new set of eyes and start kind of seeing where they are in the spectrum. Are they way narcissistic? Are they a little narcissistic? Are they close to the middle? Are they, super submissive and passive? Are they, completely damaged and injured? Look for that spectrum, and kind of see where they land on that. And it'll give you an idea of who you want to be and who you want to let in, okay? So I hope you have a great rest of the day. Tomorrow's Friday, so I'll see you Friday. And I'm looking forward to it already, okay? I'll talk to you